When you are lying in bed on a difficult day, with the curtains closed and zero energy to move, do you actually know what your cat is thinking? You might feel heavy with guilt. You might think you are a terrible owner for not playing with them, and assume they are just bored or ignoring you. But behind their quiet presence, there is a profound biological response that most people completely miss. Your cat is not ignoring you, they are silently reading your body, and if you misunderstand their actions, which most owners do, you could be missing the deep empathy and love they have been trying to show you during your darkest moments. Let us start with how their tiny body actually reacts to your emotional pain and why they suddenly change their daily habits when you are feeling your absolute lowest. 1. They smell the chemical shift in your body. When you are deeply sad or depressed, it is not just in your head. Your body chemistry actually changes. Your cortisol levels spike dramatically, and you begin to release different pheromones through your skin. To a cat, your emotional pain literally has a physical, undeniable scent. Because their sense of smell is 14 times stronger than yours, they do not just see that you are sad. They can literally smell the stress radiating from you. Researchers in applied animal behavior have shown that cats can detect these chemical changes in human sweat. They map out your emotional state purely through their nose. So when they come and sit near you, they are not just looking for a warm spot. They are responding to a biological distress signal your body is sending. They know you are not your usual self, and they want to help. If they could put it into words, it would sound a little bit like this. I know you are hurting right now, and I am anchoring myself right here to make sure you do not have to go through this heavy feeling entirely alone. And by the way, if your cat ever suddenly leaves the room when you start crying, do not panic. We will get into what that specific reaction really means later. 2. The healing frequency. You have probably noticed that when you are feeling your absolute lowest, your cat might climb onto your chest and start purring much louder than usual. Many owners assume this is just a selfish demand for attention or food. But in reality, it is a highly targeted biological medical intervention designed specifically for you. Researchers at Fauna Communications discovered that a cat purrs at a very specific frequency, generating continuous vibrations between 25 and 150 Hz deep inside. In the world of human medicine, these exact sound frequencies have actually been proven to improve bone density, repair damaged tissue, and significantly lower high blood pressure. So when they press against your chest, your cat is not just vibrating because they are happy and content. They are acting as a localized medical device. They are physically trying to heal your aching body with sound. They know your energy is entirely depleted, and they are trying to recharge it for you. This is exactly why they will sometimes refuse to move, even when your legs are cramping. If they could speak, their message would sound a bit like this. I know that you are feeling completely broken right now, so just stay still, close your eyes, and let me try to fix you with my warmth. If this is already lifting some of that heavy guilt off your shoulders, hit like and subscribe so we can reach more owners who deserve to know they are loved. 3. The emotional contagion. Sometimes, when you are severely depressed, you might notice your cat acting lethargic, sleeping all day long, or losing their normal healthy appetite. You might start to panic, thinking they are physically sick, or that you have done something terribly wrong. But very often, they are simply mirroring your emotional state. A massive behavioral study from Nottingham Trent University, involving over 3,000 owners, found a direct, highly measurable correlation between human stress levels and overall feline well-being. Cats are incredibly sensitive emotional sponges. They do not just live in your house, they actively absorb and process the heavy atmospheric energy of the entire home. When you are carrying a massive invisible burden, they instinctively pick up a portion of that weight. They are sharing the emotional load to give you a break. When they stay in bed with you all afternoon, that is not them being lazy or bored. That is an act of pure, unselfish empathy and profound solidarity. They do not want you to feel isolated in your darkness. If they could translate their quiet presence into actual words, It would sound just like this. I know that the world feels too heavy for you to carry today. Your energy is my energy, and we will share this heavy air together until tomorrow. 4. The strategic body anchor. Think about the times you feel the most incredibly anxious, when your chest feels tight and your breathing is uncomfortably shallow. Suddenly, your cat decides they must sit directly on your chest or pin your legs down. You might think they are just being inconvenient or demanding food, but this is not them trying to annoy you. This is an instinctive form of deep pressure therapy, exactly like a heavy weighted blanket for anxiety. In the wild, providing physical warmth and targeted body pressure is exactly how mother cats instinctively calm their panicked or distressed kittens during a severe storm. Researchers in feline biology note that physical pressure stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which actively forces a racing human heart to physically slow down and relax. When your cat forces their heavy weight onto your chest, they are stepping into the role of the ultimate protector. They are physically grounding your panic. If they could speak directly to your anxious mind, their message would sound exactly like this. I can feel your tiny heart racing out of control. You are floating away into a very dark space right now, so let me hold you down to earth until the terrible storm finally passes over. 5. The silent vigil. On the other hand, maybe your cat does not cuddle you when you are sad. Maybe they just keep their distance entirely. They might just sit rigidly on a chair in the corner of the room, facing the door, silently watching you. People often mistake this for apathy. You might look at them sitting so far away and think they are aloof, unbothered, or that they simply do not care about your emotional pain. But in complex feline social structures, maintaining a passive presence is actually a profound sign of devotion. In the wild, an injured colony member is highly vulnerable. By sitting quietly nearby, but deliberately keeping a physical distance, your cat is instinctively standing guard. They are creating a safe perimeter for your vulnerable state. They are giving you the necessary space to rest and recover, while making absolutely sure nothing dangerous sneaks up on you while your guard is down. Their silent message is incredibly simple and pure. You do not need to entertain me today. Just close your eyes and focus on finding your breath. They are keeping the heavy monsters away from your door until the morning light comes back, asking for absolutely nothing in return for their loyal service. 6. This is the exact moment I promised to explain to you at the very start of this video. Why they sometimes walk away when you cry. It is arguably the most heartbreaking feeling in the world. You finally break down, you start crying heavily, and your cat suddenly gets up and just leaves. It feels like absolute devastating rejection. It feels like they are saying they cannot handle your sadness, or that your dark energy is driving them entirely away. But it is not rejection at all. Feline hearing is incredibly sensitive, capable of detecting extremely high sounds up to a massive 64 kHz in frequency. The sharp, incredibly high-pitched sounds of human sobbing can actually cause intense physical distress and severe sensory overload inside their highly tuned, tiny ear canals. They are not abandoning you at all. They are simply retreating to safely decompress from the completely overwhelming auditory input that is currently hurting their tiny head. If you look closely later, you will very often find them sitting quietly, just outside the bedroom door, waiting patiently for the intense crying frequency to stop. They are waiting so they can safely return to your side. If they could speak through the closed wooden door, their message would sound exactly like this. The loud noise physically hurts my sensitive ears, and I have to step away. But I am absolutely not leaving you alone. I am right outside waiting. Your cat does not ever judge you for being depressed. They do not care if you have not been productive. They do not care if you cry. They certainly do not care if you have not left your warm bed all day long. To them, you are absolutely not a heavy, broken burden. Your profound sadness does not make you a bad or terrible owner. In fact, to this tiny, devoted creature, you are their entire beautiful, wonderful world. They will literally absorb your heavy energy, anchor your racing heart, and sit proudly in the pitch-black dark room with you for as long as it takes. They will sit perfectly still with you right there in the darkest shadows until the warm light finally decides to come back into your beautiful life again.